Well, good evening or good morning or afternoon, depending on where you're watching from at this present time or at this wherever the time is right now while watching this. Once again, I want to welcome you to our webinar, which the theme is how to secure admission into higher institutions in Nigeria. And we have been able to talk about the categories and series of higher institutions that we have in Nigeria. And now we are on a topic that says how to secure admission into federal universities in Nigeria, irrespective of their category, either they are under a specialized university like University of Agriculture, University of Science and Technology, University of Education, or what we just want to do is to pick each of the federal universities in Nigeria, about 47 of them, and talked about the admission process one after the other. So in the last webinar, we talked about University of Lagos. In fact, we go as much as talking about Lagos University Teaching Hospital, and we are able to give us all the admission requirement for anyone seeking admission into this institution to take advantage of the information for making the admission process easy or to make the admission process easy. So tonight at this time we'll be talking about University of Ilorin, popularly popularly known as Unilorin, located in Kwara State, Nigeria. It's one of the foremost federal universities in Nigeria. So we'll be talking about the 10 facts about Unilorin admission. And that's what's going to be our focus today. So just follow and be, listen attentively. So let's go to number one. Number one on this is to talk about their screening parameters. So we've decided to put all the screening requirements into 10 facts, and we'll be taking note of all these schools using this prototype of these 10 basic things to know about when seeking admission into any of these universities. So number one is screening parameter. University of Ilorin, I mean, just similar to University of Lagos at recent time, have switched to utilize or to make use of JAMB UTME score, O-level results, and post-UTME screening aptitude test to admit students into their various programs under the undergraduate admission. So if you're seeking to gain admission to University of Ilorin as an undergraduate, either from 100 level or direct entry from 200 level, then you need to take note that especially for those that are coming in from 100 level, their training parameter is there your JAM result, which is JAM UTME, then your O level result, then the post UTME screening test. Let's go to number two. Number two. Number two is to talk about the JAMB UTME cutoff mark, which is apparently what everybody wants to hear right now. So if you are seeking admission into University of Ilorin and you are looking for what is the minimum requirements UTME score for you to have to be eligible to take part in the screening exercise, then what you need to do is to have score. What you need to know is to have score 180 and above. What we are saying here is that if you score 180, you are eligible to apply for any program in the university. Nevertheless, that does not guarantee that you'll be offered the admission until all the parameters, which is your O-level result and your post-UTME the screening test has been cumulated, then that becomes the measure to admit you to be qualified for the program that you want to study at the university. But as long as you score 180, then you are free to change to University of Ilorin or to choose University of Ilorin and apply for any course of your choice. Number three. Number three is to discuss the O-level requirement. University of Ilorin accepts two sitting in your O-level results, meaning that two sitting, if you know every program at the university require 5 credits score, minimum 5 credit score. So why some schools like University of Lagos will only admit you if you have the complete 5 level credit score at a sitting, that is at a single result. But University of Learning we accept two sitting. If you that is, you can combine results, WAEC and GC, WAEC GC and NECO GC, depending on what you, as long as it's an O level examination result that is acceptable in Nigeria, then you will be considered for admission. But except, please note that except students seeking admission to study MBBS, which is medicine and surgery, pharmacy, optometry, and computer engineering. If you are studying any of these courses, MBBS, which is medicine and surgery, pharmacy, optometry, and computer engineering, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot use two sitting in your O level results. You need one sitting for you to be eligible and qualified to study all these four major courses, which is medicine, surgery, pharmacy, optometry, and computer engineering. So it means a maximum of two sitting of the whole level credit passes in pertinent subjects such as English language and mathematics, plus any other three subject that eligible you to study the course or program that you have chosen to study at the university. Let's go to the next one, number four. Number four is the screening test. Okay, so in the screening test, note that the screening test is required, and this screening test of University of Ilorin is physical. It means you have to be present at this university campus to take part in the screening test exercise, and it is CBT mode. So the exam is CBT mode. Okay, so be ready that you'll be traveling if you are not residents in Kwara State, Ilorin, and you are applying from wherever you are. So when the exercise, when the screening, the school will publish the date for the post UTME registration for you to take part after that registration. Then you watch out for the date that will be published for you to do a reprint of when your test, I mean, this post UTME screening test examination will hold, especially for you. Then you will have to go there physically to attend or to participate in the screening test exercise. Without this, you are not going to be eligible or be able to gain admission into the university. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, number five is the grading system. If you look at all of these parameters that we've been explaining from number one to number five, you will discover that it's similar to that of University of Lagos, except for the fact that University of Lagos will only required a sitting for in all the a sitting in your whole level for any of the program you're applying for. Number two is that the University of Lagos screening test is online at the comfort of your phone with a system that have a webcam and a strong internet connection. And a date also will be scheduled for you to take part in this particular examination, I mean test. But for University of Ilorin, you have to be present physically in their school to take part in the exercise after you have been able to register for the post UTME screening exercise, and you have to the examination is CBT mode. So this is very, very important. But and number five is the grading system. All right, the grading system is also similar to that of University of Lagos, and that is UTME score is over 50. At the end of the day, all the three parameters, which is your O level result, your your JAMB UTME result, and your post UTME screening test, All of them will be graded over 100. And how, what percentage does each of them takes? Number one is the UTME score is 50% of the total aggregate. The O level result is 20% of the total aggregate, and the post UTME screening test is 30% over the total aggregate of 100. So whatsoever you score in your UTME will be, divided by 8, and whatsoever what you have, okay, your whole level results, okay, the same way we calculate it for University of Lagos, which we are going to talk about in the next one. You have to know how to calculate that to know what your chances are in gaining the admission into the university, and your post-UTME test is over 30%. University of Ilorin started this method just a year ago. All right. Over the years, this has not been their parameter, but recently they switched to this parameter, which is more or less like a modification of that of University of Lagos. So let's go to the next one. So the next one is how to calculate your whole level. The next one is how to calculate your O level the O level grading system. And just write A1, B2, B3, C4, C5, C6 in a sheet of paper, and A1 is 4, and start deducting zero point 0.4 from each of the points, starting from 4. If you deduct zero point 0.4 from 4.0, what you have is 3.6. If you do the same to 3.6, you have 3.2. Then the last credit, which is 6, will give you 2.0. If we had all of these together, you will discover that it give you 20 aggregate, because you are expected to have maximum of 20, all right, over 20 in your O level grading or your O level credit, all right, and that is if you have 20, then that is 4 times 5, that will give you 20. All right, let's go to the next one. I think this is very, very simple for all of us to understand. So the number 7 now. Number 7, number 7. So sorry. Number 7, please. JAMB score grading system. It's also is expedient and important that we talk about how to calculate your JAMB UTME score over 50. And we've said it that your UTME divided by 8 will give you an aggregate of 50, because 400 is the total obtainable mark in JAMB UTME. And if you divide 400 by 8, what you have is 50. Then let's take for example, okay, if you score 320, for instance, of 320 over 400 in JAMB UTME, if you divide that 320 by 8, what you have over 50 in your UTME aggregate will be 40 over 50. So this is very, very important. This will help you to know what to do and what next when it comes to you seeking admission to University of Ilorin. This is a perfect guide for you. All right, the next one. The next one. Yes, the next one is quite simple. Okay, the next one is just the screening test grading, and that is, we've said it, is over 30. Please don't forget this, that the exam you're about to go and write, or the aptitude test after you have registered for the post UTME, is just over 30%. Often than none, I've always advised students, if you have calculated your JAMB UTME score over 50, you have calculated your 5 credit required O level result over 20. If you had both of them together, you should have idea either you are either you'll be given admission to study that particular course or program that you're applying for or not. This is very, very important. Many students don't do this, and because you score 201 or 202, you don't want to study, for instance, computer science, you want to study microbiology. First of all, do your calculation and see that you stand a chance to gain that admission. That is the whole essence of all this webinar. So let's go to the next one. The next one, number 9, number 10. number nine, sorry. Number nine is total number of programs at the university. This is also very, very important because by the time you hear that 180 students applied to University of Ilorin, okay, in the last jam, and you are like, how? What's my chance of gaining admission? And how many students are you going to take? How many programs do they have at the university? The total number of program undergraduate program at the University of Ilorin as at present is 75. 75 in total. 75 in total. Let's go to the last but not the least, number 10, is to talk about the carrying capacity of the university. Out of all the number of candidates or students that apply to study at the University of Ilorin, how many students will be offered admission? Of course, just 12,500 will be offered admission, and sometimes this exceed 12,500 to about 13 to 13,500. So if 12,500 to 13,500 will be offered admission and over 100,000 people are applying, then you should know that the admission is a competition. So the better score you have, the more eligible you have for your chances to gain admission into the university. And this is very, very important. And I know you will not take this information for granted. And last but not least, we had some few things to help us also in gaining admission. I think I compute in one of the slides the cutoff mark for different courses as at 2024. As at 2024, okay, University of Ilorin, yes, the minimum required mark for you to study any at the University of Ilorin is 180. Nevertheless, they also have make it easy for students eligibility to be perfect, that you need to have a minimum requirement for each of the course. So you still need, after this information, because this statistics on the screen is for 2024. So for 2025, once the admission screen exercise is published, you need to go and see what is the cutoff mark for the course I want to study, the minimum UTME score that must have or that I must have before I can be eligible to apply for that course at the University of Ilorin. So you will see that some are 180, which is the minimum, some are 120, 200, 210, 205, 280. In fact, so you just look at it for the 75, uh, for all the 75 programs that the university have, you will see the cutoff mark in the slide for each of the courses. If you need this reference, please don't forget to contact us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment on the comment sections that I need a copy of the cutoff mark for 2024 for University of Ilorin. Then I'll be glad to send it to you either via email or WhatsApp number or any other means that you have provided us with. You can also send us email. Okay, you can also send us email. And don't forget that, you know, you can also send us question. If you have a question, we'll be ready and be glad to answer your question. Apart from all of this information, probably you have a unique question based on your own uniqueness of what you score or what you want to study or the jam subject combination you did, and you are like, would they be offered? I want to change my course from this based on this to another one. Will I be eligible to study this with this jam subject combination? Definitely we can provide you with such information. So just comment in the comment section. They will be glad to do that for you. So contact us also at e2020 at gmail.com. We'll be glad to respond to your email and give you adequate updated information. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel at e2101 for any other information. We also have classes that we run on our platform on a weekly basis on different topics and different subjects, especially for students who are planning to write any national examinations like WAEC, GC, NECO, WAEC, NECO, GC, WAEC, GC, and NAPTEP, and any level examination like JUPEB and IGMB. We have series of lectures that we have compiled together in video on our YouTube channel that will be of great help to you. If you have a friend or you know someone who this will be benefiting to, please kindly share with them, and we'll be happy that you're part of us, making us grow together. God bless you till we see you again. Bye for now. See you next time.